The compass is also a really great example of the problem with setups and payoffs in this film. So Lyra gets the compass and is told not to tell anyone, but she does so, and so what? What are the ramifications? The master specifically says, and this is a quote, "The golden compass was given to the college by Lord Asriel a year ago, and now I'm giving it to you. I think you are meant to have it. But Lyra, keep the alethiometer to yourself. It is of utmost importance that Mrs. Coulter does not know that you have it. Do you understand me? Of the utmost importance." Okay, so why did Lord Asriel give it to him a year ago? Why is he giving it to Lyra now? Why does he think she is meant to have it? Why can't Mrs. Coulter have it? And why does Lyra keep flashing it around? And then at 30 minutes into the film, Mrs. Coulter's demon actually has the compass in his hot little hands. And so what? What are the consequences of that? What is at stake? No clue. It's a huge setup. It does not pay off. The object of desire comes too late. What does Lyra want? Well, early in the film, she tells Roger that if the gobblers ever get him, she will come and look for him. All right, so far so good. That's a great little setup. But then when Roger does go missing, she does not go looking for him. Instead, she leaves on the ferry with Mrs. Coulter. She seems perfectly happy with Mrs. Coulter until Mrs. Coulter wants the compass. And at that point, Lyra runs away, and it's only then that she says to Pan, "We've got to go find Billy and Roger." She doesn't seem concerned. She's not worried about Roger at all. Now, in fairness, she doesn't realize that they're actually snatched by gobblers until shortly before she goes missing, or until shortly before she runs away from Mrs. Coulter. But that's really late. That comes at about 32 minutes into the film. That's about 31% into the story. So a lot of precious screen time, of storytelling's time, has been wasted up front. This is when Lyra is finally setting out on her journey. This is when the object of desire is now starting to drive the plot. Because a plot is not just a series of stuff that happens, right? All right, then the other thing I've got highlighted here is how convenient everything is. And Melanie, you touched on this as well. Before Lyra can even get started on her journey, she's found by Ma Costa, who conveniently has been following her and watching over her. Right, and this is a huge issue with the film. There is plenty of action scenes, lots of those. But there's very little story or scene conflict because just as Lyra gets into a pickle, something or someone happens along to make it all disappear. And if someone doesn't come along to make it all disappear, then the compass makes it all disappear. Ma Costa is just one example. Meeting Lee Scoresby is another. He just happens to be a pilot who just happens to be friends with Yorick, who's the ice bear. Lyra isn't even looking for a pilot, and she isn't even looking for an ice bear. They just show up, and presto magico, off they go. Like, I could go on and on. Melanie has already given a whole bunch of examples. You get my point. All right. And we've only just scratched the surface, Melanie. We could really go on and on, but I think everyone understands what we're saying. Okay. So with all of that said, Melanie, for the golden compass for you, what is the bottom line here?
So for me, the bottom line is that if a story is sanitized, then the risk is removing story elements such as tension, conflict, and stakes. And these are the elements that make a reader empathize with your protagonist. What about you? What's your bottom line?
Yeah, well, it's no surprise, right, that we both picked up on the lack of tension, conflict, and stakes. For me, the bottom line here is that we need to understand that a story isn't merely a list of things that happen. And without tension, conflict, and stakes, that's exactly what a narrative is. It's just a bunch of things that happen, and that is guaranteed to bore the heck out of your reader.